What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the Jericho Report Weekly News Briefing. It is Sunday, the 10th of March, 2024. What a week of madness. Nikki Haley say it's not so. Using a little bit different audio setup this week. It may sound better, but I'm not comfortable wearing a headset anymore after not wearing it for a long time. We'll see how it goes. As always, the first link below will take over to the Patreon post. That's where you can find all the madness. It's crazy. Let's jump into it. Be advised, U.S. suffers years worth of measles cases literally in the first 2 months of 20... What? I'm going to link to this from the Daily Mail. Parrot fever, apparently outbreak in Europe, has led to deaths of 5 people. It's disease going on all over the world. Robert Kennedy tweeted this. Donald Trump clearly hasn't learned from his mistakes, fails to recognize this is in response to a Trump tweet. The State of the Union, Trump was just going crazy with replies. Pandemic no longer controls our lives. The vaccine saved us from COVID. And I'm used to beat cancer. Yeah, you're welcome, Joe. I don't understand how anyone doesn't. I'm just beside myself. Anyway, some Chiefs fans who attended bitter cold playoff game now require amputations. You mean the blood is not flowing right in your body? Interesting thing that happened here, St. Charles County. Listen to this.
St. Charles County is investigating a sudden death at the Juvenile Detention Center.
Died in his sleep.
Officials say the 17-year-old.
Mysterious, baffling. 32-year-old BBC journalist passes away after collapsing during run. Healthy people collapse and die all the time. Other news going on. Supreme Court rules stay. Oh my! The Democrats were triggered by this. They can't kick them off the ballot. Democrats announced bill to kick off immediately. I mean, we have to. Oh, this is extremely dangerous to our democracy. Nikki Haley's exiting campaign. Nikki say it's not so. I was wondering. You know what you should have said on exit that would have totally won me over? Death to the New World Order. But nah, I'm crazy. I gotta remember myself. Donald Trump participated in an erection, apparently. Jack Tabor's got sex on his mind.
Explanation was not they didn't like Donald Trump. They said he participated in an erection. And I have to...
Nikki Haley's like, Other news, MSNBC cuts off Trump vigorously claims he was... Oh, I was watching it. Rachel Maddow was just steam coming out of her head. And oh my God, listen to this.
Now, you should have said undocumented, but that's not a big thing, okay? What's the big thing about it?
I should have said undocumented, but it's not a big thing. What's the big thing? Drunk as usual. Fucking demented old bat. Shout out to Tony Soprano. How a major U.S. stock index fared on the Friday. Over to financial news. What happened in the markets this week? Dow Jones fell 68 points on Friday. For the week, the Dow was down 364. That's not good. We're back below 39,038. 722 is where the markets closed. U.S. job growth totaled 275,000 in February, but unemployment rate rose to 3.9%. If you believe the numbers, I'll put a link to it. House passes bipartisan. Oh my God, we figured it! I think, what does this keep us going through? September or something like that? We figured it out. We found the money. We agreed on everything. Who knows what's in this bill? You got to sign it and see what's in it and whatever. U.S. to sell off entire Northeast gasoline supply. What? That from Microsoft's Dart. One way to raise money, I guess. Feds conducted broad and unjustified surveillance on Americans' private financial data. Oh, say it ain't so. Like we don't know this 15 years ago. Biden to launch joint FTC-DOJ task force to crack down on unfair and illegal pricing because he cares about the American people. Got some more in the financial bit. Undocumented migrants could get help buying. Well, why shouldn't they live the American dream for free? Meanwhile, you could win $1 million for developing technology to fight anti-Semitism. That from JPost. Doritos fires trans activists 2 days after bringing her in as ambassador after being alerted. Sick tweets about doing deprived things to a 12-year-old. Well, good on Doritos' part. Maybe vet your people a little better. The North Face tells customers to pass DEI course for discount. I believe it's something about inclusion. Let's see, diversity, equality, and inclusion, and you get a discount. I've never owned a North Face product, and I never will. Other news, Trump posts the $91 million. Oh my God, now he can appeal his case after putting up $91 million. And got one at the bottom, Facebook, Instagram, all back up after major. Did you notice what happened this week with Facebook? I don't think I've checked my personal Facebook page in some time. I don't use it the way people normally use it. I'm the worst Facebook friend because I don't read anyone's shit. I only use Facebook to promote my YouTube channel, in which I get heavily ghosted, so it really doesn't work out. Anyway, over to New World and Police State News. New York governor orders National Guard to NYC subways as crime is out of control. Indeed, got some video here. Check it out. Now, what does this particular video have to do with fighting crime? Okay, more police presence, National Guard presence, whatever. How does that translate to we got to search your bag because you might be trying to commit crime with that bag? Just shut up and supply slaves. That's really all your choice is. Feds begin using AI tools to blacklist citizens critical of U.S. government. Oh no! I don't believe you. Commercial fishermen are being critical of the U.S. government. Apparently, they're being harassed and stalked because there's a video here, something about they don't want people doing their own thing. They want you eating the New World Order's food, not your own food. And, if you grow a garden, you're a terrorist. Canada considers house arrest for people at risk of committing hate crimes. At risk. Department of Pre-Crime? Anyway, straight up in your face. Over across the pond, German police carry out dawn raids on homes suspected of misogynistic hate speech posters. I'm not reading that wrong. Send your neighbor to prison. Back in the States, wrong speak. Wrong speak will get you $2,000 in your pocket from taxpayers in the state of Washington. Send your neighbor. You better watch what you say, man. 1984 Ministry of Information. Check this out on the agenda front. This was posted to the official Kansas City, Missouri
Happy
page.
National Reading Day.
Today, we are reading Introducing Teddy, a gentle story about gender and friendship.
It was written by Jessica Walton and illustrated by Dougal McPherson.
Errol and Thomas.
How's it feel to be just a compliant little slave?
They ride their bike in the backyard.
They're doing this because this is what they're told to do. You understand that, right?
They have sandwiches.
Man, I got other news. Biden administration admits flying 320,000 migrants secretly into the United States to reduce the number of crossings at the border. So we won't let them come across, officially undocumented. We'll just fly them in. Nobody will notice that. I'm not reading the headline wrong, man. Elon Musk chimed in. This administration is both importing voters and creating a national security threat. He's talking about an attack bigger than 9/11. Yeah, no shit. It's called Operation Blackjack. Google it. You'll no doubt see my face. A couple more here. Miscellaneous just in. House Representatives passed the Laken-Riley Act. That's the girl that was murdered by an illegal. Apparently now ICE is going to detain illegals charged with theft or burglary to ensure they are not immediately... good luck. We'll see how that works out. A little slice of hope, maybe. And I got one at the bottom. This video leaked. Listen to this. Just listen to this man's words.
You have the chance to look forward to a career of 50 years. And my own opinion, yeah. Maybe more. You will get some injections and some and so on. And,
it's so funny. Let's laugh.
And then don't forget your avatar will continue to live. So and your brain will be replicated through artificial intelligence.
He's not lying. These are the people that actually control the world. It has nothing to do with the U.S. president. It's just a puppet to keep the people divided and to get up and read. These people, they make no qualms about their agenda and what they want to do here in 2024. They just blatantly tell us, and people just laugh about it. Over to World War III news. Check it out. We got breaking news here.
Breaking news in the past few moments. This is from the U.S. Embassy in Russia that is warning of a terrorist attack that could take place in Moscow within the next 24 hours.
This came out on March
It's been repeated by the UK.
I did check the MI5 current security level. It has not increased, so I'm always looking for that. German MP urges attacks on Moscow government buildings. Well, that would be an increase in the terrorist activity, right? Explosion rocks Zelensky's motorcade and Putin assassination plot with NATO leader targeted. I don't know what's going on there. Microsoft Start. We got, let's see. At night, Ukrainians sank another patrol ship of Russia. I think we have video on this, actually. Yeah. Firefighter. I think we see the explosion. Like that. On the other front, the grandson of one of these guys was killed in a drone strike in South Lebanon, of the Hezbollah leader, I should say. 9,000 women. Speaking of dead people, this is the part that pisses me off. People that had nothing to do with anybody just trying to live their lives. 9,000 women killed in Gaza. Grim figures on International Women's Day. 53% of Israelis believe Netanyahu is extending war to stay in power. No doubt. Put a link to that. Netanyahu's war cabinet itself is at war with itself. Question mark? I don't know. Video of the United States dropping humanitarian aid on Gaza by parachute. I heard one of the parachutes didn't deploy and it actually landed on someone, killing them or something like that. But check that out, man. We're airdropping stuff into Gaza. I wonder how much that's cost the American taxpayer. Biden to order U.S. military to set up emergency floating port off Gaza to help aid, and thousands of American troops on ship with armed escorts could be sent to the Mediterranean Sea to build temporary pier. A couple more. FBI is hunting for Iran's would-be assassin who allegedly targeted Trump administration officials. And I got one at the bottom. Be advised, not World War III related, but adjacent to gangs overrun Haiti's 2 largest prison, fleeing nearly 4,000 criminals as U.S. urges all Americans to exit. Over to Earth changes in 2012 news. Now I got it set up for 6 points and above for the past week. I had a 6-0 on the 8th, a 6-7 on the 3rd. Let's drop down to magnitude 5s. A lot of 5s going on around the world. Not too bad on earthquakes this week, though. We have explosion and fire at site housing vaping supplies, kills 1 outside Detroit. Since we got video on this here. Somebody take a look. Oh, that's a fire! That's a fire! Look at that. He'll be all right. Real chilly around. Gus, why you burned down my backyard? Thousands of tumbleweed doom take over Utah town. That could be a fire hazard, huh? I'll link to that. Update on what's going on in Texas from the governor.
When you see the aftermath of that damage, there's some semblance of a structure that is still there. When you look at the damages that have occurred here, it's just gone.
My heart goes out to everybody. Did you catch the Joe Biden comment? Remember how about the people were talking in Hawaii about the houses with blue roofs and whatnot? Listen to this. What else could he mean by this?
And by the way, if you notice you fly over in the helicopter, those places with good roofs, they didn't burn.
With the right materials.
Yeah.
Why would a something to think about, folks, saying it out loud. California man first in U.S. to be charged with smuggling greenhouse gases. I guess he's smuggling like R22 air conditioners in, and he's been charged with smuggling greenhouse gases. Explosions and controlled burn in East Palestine train derailment were unnecessary, NTSB says. Oh, after you poison the entire air. Who knows how much cancer is going to come from that? Let's see here. Plane turns into fireball on... We got a lot of plane doom this week. Crash kills 5. TMZ's got a video on this, I think. Highway camera, boom, into the ground. And apparently just couldn't make the runway. Something went wrong. They do have some ATC audio out there somewhere if you want to Google that. Here's another angle of the crash. And thoughts to the people who were lost in that one. United Boeing 737 MAX suffers gear collapse after landing in Houston. What? Broken plane. Something definitely wrong. Speaking of that, this story is covering the last story, but this happened recently too out in California. Watch this United plane take off and one of the wheels fall off. Watch this. This should not happen ever, ever, ever. Here comes. You ready? How does that happen? How does a fucking wheel fall off a commercial airliner? And NASA is preparing for an internet apocalypse. Huge solar storm could hit Earth by 2025. Over to strange and bizarre news, and I'm going to warn you off the top, this is going to get heated. There's probably going to be some language. Be advised, residents lash out at Uvalde city leaders and police after report exonerating all the officers and all of the leaders after these children had to wait 70 plus minutes, I believe it is, for police entry into the building. I understand their frustration and outrage. Bunch of cowards. You want to see how it's done? Remember this morning in St. Louis? I do.
We have some breaking news from South St. Louis at this hour. A huge police presence near Central Visual and
this was not a false flag. This happened blocks from my house.
Earlier, we saw children running. We saw police running. Many of them
the first
had
officers
long
pulled up
guns.
on this scene.
As you can see, you still
jumped out of their
have
car. They heard
units that
gunfire
are
in the
rushing
school.
Up to the scene.
They hit the
We
emergency
still
button
have
on the radio and they
officers, as you
ran
can
to that
see.
gunfire.
They're loading rifles. We are not exactly sure what's
you
happening.
People who always want to call me a bootlicker and whatnot. Let me ask you a question because you don't want to talk about this. What happens if the police aren't here to make the save this morning? What happens?
As you can
Tell you
see,
what
we
happens.
have
Uvalde
a huge
happens.
Police presence. You see adults
Takes balls.
rushing around.
The St. Louis City Police Department has a
St.
ton of
Louis
them. They
Fire
take it to
and
the
EMS
max
there on
every
scene
night out
as
there.
Well, we are not exactly sure what's happening.
Other news.
Police say the shooters fired more than 30 rounds into
Here's a case
crowd
where
of
gun
high
control
school
would help.
students.
You think they're all carrying legally obtained firearms?
8 teenagers were shot. One
15-year-old shot by police officer. Shot by officer near Six Flags over Georgia. It's not safe to go to Six Flags anymore. Rust Armorer, guilty of involuntary manslaughter. Yeah, because it's all her fault. Did anything come of Alec Baldwin? You know, the guy that actually pulled the trigger. How about some gun laws to stop that situation? Jury sentences man to 10 years after being shown. Speaking of someone shooting someone, look at this.
All right, goodbye, Reese.
I guess his wife was cheating on him. She said goodbye. You're going to meet Jesus. That's raw. 8 suspect record abduction and torture of rape of Alabama mother before killing her. Put a link to that. Sick world. Joe Rogan guest arrested after discovery of headless torso in NYC. How the hell you do that? Texas mom arrested after drink given to son to prevent. I guess the bully was supposed to drink the drink. He drank it and he ended up in the hospital. Okay. 2 charged with stealing nearly 600 Venus flytraps. I didn't know that was a thing, to steal Venus flytraps.
You won't see them every day.
Put a link to that. Charles Barkley says he will punch any black person he sees wearing Donald Trump mugshot. And I got one at the bottom. Check this out.
So, you know, BBLs for me
this
is
guy,
just for fun.
BBLs is like the big butt.
Those women
when
are for fun.
they
Like,
blow it up.
You can't take women with BBLs.
He goes on to explain his situation on his BBL date. It didn't go as he thought, but it's too gross to get into. That's all the news I got. For all the news, please check my favorite videos. You Are Not Alone by Simple Dan Forever. I had to re-favorite that one. For anyone out there feeling alone, reading all this and having all this information, you feel like you're alone, watch that video. That'll help you out. Grit Down, Power Up 2024 full documentary. There's a good one to watch. I haven't watched it, just a few minutes of it, but stuff we already know. Still informative. State of the Union, train wreck. Mark Dice put one out. Check out the H1 humanoid robots. I believe that's out of China. Interesting stuff there. Definitely check my favorites for updated news and information. Thank you to everybody still posting content, keeping everyone informed. You guys are doing awesome work. Let's wrap this up with a couple shout-outs, shall we? Hero Woman saves young girl from being raped by a migrant. Shout out to the Hero Woman. Check it out. I guess this migrant grabbed a girl and was, getting ready to do whatever.
What are you doing with her?
She followed him, and the girl finally gets away from the guy. Here's this here. Shout out to this one, because this might have found her body in a dumpster somewhere. Had this woman not
Are you okay?
stuck up for this girl. Disturbing world we're living in. And shout out to the Gold Star dad arrested for heckling Biden during State of the... How dare you arrest that
All
man?
Americans.
Listen to this. Just listen to this bullshit.
Safe. And America is safer today than when I took office.
Of course it is.
Year before I took office, murder rates went up 30%. 30% they went up.
About his Marine son who died.
The biggest increase in history.
No, I'm the man. I stopped the crime.
Through my American record.
That's all I got this week. I could go on out on a big rant about it. If you like the report, please give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If you think it sucked, that's fine with me. You can also follow me on all my links below. TwitchShoot. It's late at night. The Gab, the Twitter, the Facebook, the Rumble, the BitChute. You can support me on Patreon or directly with DonorBox. I put a lot into these reports. I'm doing this with no sleep. It's the middle of the night, but I'm doing it so I can give you the news on a Sunday morning. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for a few minutes while I give you the news. Tell me what you think is coming next. We're just standing on the edge of that cliff we've been standing on for 15 plus years now. Any moment. But, the government passed a budget, so maybe we'll make it a little longer. And, it's going to be an interesting election year. Nikki Haley's out. I guess Donald Trump's. And then it's just uproar there. And it's complete and total madness. But I love you guys so much. You guys take care. Stay safe. Have a good rest of the weekend. Have a good week. I love you very much. I will see you on the next one.